Good. Some of them were, almost there. Probably, we might need to refine them. But yeah, we can definitely discuss in today's session, and then probably we can move forward. And yeah, so I think someone have sent their assignment just some time back. Is Afza here on this call? Afza. Okay, and earlier, Sudha actually she sent our work too. I'll pick up the latest one. Great. Should we start? I think that's all 1 or 3 minutes already into the meeting. So as I said, it was very interesting, the assignment, what I could able to, go through. And thank you very much, whoever actually put in effort to do your assignment. So lot of things make sense, and some of the aspects are to be refined, as I mentioned beginning of the call. So I just today morning I did go through Sudha's the assignment, okay, and she had taken an example of oven, and I see certain aspects like from the functional and the non-functional requirements were defined. However, they were probably collectively as a group we can actually discuss about the assignment which was sent across by Sudha, and see if anybody point out does it make sense or does it not make sense from the functional or non-functional, and it would be helpful for everyone. So let me share my screen. Okay. Rubia, can someone actually give me access to share the screen, please? If you don't mind.
Done, sir.
Thank you. Are you able to see my screen? Let me know if
Yes.
you guys
Yes,
able
sir.
to see. Yeah, okay, excellent. Thank you. So now the example here, she have taken micro oven. Okay. So she had given a generic description about the microwave. So microwave oven is an electric device that heats and cooks food by exposing it to electromagnetic radiation. Okay, microwave oven are common kitchen appliance and are popular for reheating previously cooked foods. They rapidly heat foods which can easily burn or turn lumpy if cooked in the conventional pans. So it's a very good brief overview about the device or the items what has been chosen, and coming back to the functional requirements, can anyone tell me what is functional requirements and what is non-functional requirements? Before we get in here, can anyone volunteer? Feel free to unmute yourself and say it. No? the functional requirement is the requirement where we can put it as it should meet the expectation or the the usability or usage of given item or device or the software, right? Intended functionality. Like for our mobile phone, we should be able to dial the number, and it should we should be able to make the call or send the text message and have the proper keypad. So all these are the functional items, right? Okay. So coming back to here, in this, Sudha mentioned like the primary function is to cook food, which is correct, with the right temperature. That means you should be able to, set up or set the right temperature. That functionality should be there, okay, within, in the oven. And so the food does not burn or caramelize. So there are two items here, okay? Should not burn or caramelize, right? So that means you need to set the right temperature for the right food. So that means your oven should have the functional aspects where you can set the temperature, various temperatures based on the food. Or at the same time, you can also mention that, okay, for cooking rice, or you can set to certain the temperature, and you can set it for a certain number of minutes or hour, whatever it is, right? So that kind of a functionality should be there. Or if you have a curry, you just need to heat it up, so you will set it for 1 minute, right? You need to have some button on your oven to set that 30 seconds or 1 minute or 1.5 minutes, whatever it is, right? So that is the functional aspect. Could someone go on mute, please? Tabriz, I believe you're unmuted yourself, if you don't mind. Can you unmute? Thank you. And the second thing is choose the right microwave oven safe utensils to cook the food. Do you think it's it is the functionality of the oven? Is it a functionality of the oven? Choosing the safe utensils to cook? Feel free to comment, please.
Yes, wait. Hello, babe. Must go. Wow,
Mr. Abdul Mujib, could you please mute yourself? Thank you. Okay, Sudha, can you comment?
Hello. So, if we choose a plastic one, it might burn. I mean, it's not the oven thing. We need to perform.
Correct. But is it a functionality of the oven?
It's not the functionality of the microwave oven.
Microwave, right? Okay. It's completely associated with a different association, right? Here
Yes,
the
yes.
utensils. It is
Yes.
not the functional. When you're using with the oven, okay, microwave,
Yes.
then it will have an impact. It is like interacting, right? Something
Yes.
is you're actually adding to it, or you're running together, and something is actually happening.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So, but it is not part of the oven.
Yes,
okay?
It's not part of the oven.
Correct.
Yes.
So this will not become a functional requirement of the oven or microwave.
Okay.
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 Now you have another. We've defined another thing. Microwave oven control panel is either analog or digital panel.
Yes.
and reading an instrumental manual for operating the oven is required. So,
Yes.
okay, there are a couple of things. Now, microwave oven control panel is either analog or digital panel,
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
which is good. So where you can set your heat, okay, digitally or analog.
Yeah, for the functioning, yes.
Okay. Now, reading an instrumental instructional manual for operating the oven is required. So there are two things. You are defining the instruction. So it is instruction manual is not a functional requirement.
Yes, that is
It
not
is
a functioning.
kind of a
Yeah,
guide
it's not a
to
device.
operate.
Yes, yes.
It is a
yes,
guide to operate your microwave.
Yes.
Okay. So now question to rest of the team members. Okay, let me pick up the names because I'm asking, to someone to comment, but I'm not able to, I don't see anyone proactively commenting on a couple of things, but I need to choose the names now. Okay. Sohail, can you tell me, okay, any other functional requirements of microwave? I presume you use microwave at home.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what do you think the functional requirement of the microwave?
Sir, it's specially used to cooking purpose, sir.
I'm not asking for the usage. What would be the functional requirement? Okay. So,
Sir, I think it's electricity, sir.
so electricity is not a functional requirement. So that means, can I run the microwave through a battery?
No, sir.
Yes, we can, sir.
Okay, somebody said no, somebody said yes. Okay, I do not want to get into much details from that side.
Sir, the switch button should be in a working position.
Okay, and then anything else specific to microwave?
Cooking and heating.
It is a usage, not the functional requirement.
So the size is a functional requirement.
The size, okay. What else?
Correct utensils for cook.
That is not a functional requirement.
Okay.
Just now we discussed. Can we think in this way? Okay, now here, so it has been mentioned right temperature, okay, and the right timing, right? And you will set the timer.
Yes.
So now, when you set the temperature for 100 degrees or whatever it is, okay, and you set the time for 1 minute or 2 minutes, what do you expect the microwave to do? After, okay, the microwave should heat the food in 100 degrees Celsius, and then it should heat the food for certain 1 minute or 2 minutes, whatever you said.
Yes.
Now, after the 2 minutes or a minute, whatever we said, should your microwave turn off automatically, or should it continue heating the food?
Sir, it's
It should
up
turn
to the-
off.
It should turn off, right?
You have said
Exactly.
so.
Yeah, it should turn off. So that is your requirement, right? So once it reaches to that stage, because it reached a certain state or a stage, and it should automatically cut off or stop heating the food. Okay, and here, it is mentioned like the food does not burn or caramelize. That means if the microwave continues to heat even after the time set, that is 1 or 2 minutes, okay, definitely the food is going to burn or caramelize. Correct? The functionality should be after a certain period, when the food is being heated with 100 degrees Celsius for 2 minutes, microwave should turn off automatically. That is your requirement. Now, we're talking about the control panel. When analog or digital panel, you should be, okay, you should be able to see how many minutes or seconds are left for the completion of that the heating. Correct? It's a digital, right? There has to be like numbers decreasing once you set that the timer. What if instead of decreasing the seconds, what if the microwave, actually the counter is actually increasing from 2 to 3 minutes, 4 minutes? That is an anomaly, right? Okay, it's a fault, a bug.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
So what should be a functionality? So the timer should always decrease from the start to 0. What if you set for 100 degrees Celsius, but the heating is actually for 200 degrees Celsius, or it's only 10 degrees Celsius? Your food is not heated, or your food has actually been overcooked, burn. Is it not the functional?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's come back to your microwave inside. There is a glass round, what do you call it, as circular
Disc.
Plate.
this kind of a thing, right, where you keep your food. Yeah, there is a kind of a wheelie, rounded.
Rotating table.
Yes, rotating table. Correct. Thank you. It should be the same size, or it should fit the inside the microwave. Correct.
Yes.
Now,
Yes, sir.
there is another requirement. If the food spills, overheats, and what microwave should happen? What if you keep a metal inside the microwave? Have you seen, if sorry, nobody should try this, but if you keep metal inside the microwave, if you turn on, it actually sparks.
Yes, sir.
What it is, it is a major thing, right? This needs to be tested. It should be human safe, right? So that's the reason you always use microwave, safe utensils. How did you infer the metal is not good for heating food in microwave? Right? See, these are the the functional aspects. The size, the color, how to manage or handle the temperature. Correct? Do you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Think this, in this particular perspective, please. Okay. See, the micro oven safe utensils, it's a good one. However, it is not a functional, aspects of the, microwave. It's a separate thing. When you bring this inside, and then it will have a repercussion, right? If if you use metal, then we will have a spark. If you use the oven safe utensils, then it is going to the microwave perform or work as expected. What if you use no micro and safe non-micro safe utensils, like forget about the metal, but this the plastic which is not compatible with microwave, what actually happens? It burns, isn't it? The food will
Yes.
be spoiled.
Mhm.
Okay, so we need to make sure you have to have a right utensils, some grade, whatever it's been defined. Yes or no? And this is a very good point, where the instructional manual for operating oven is required. This is the user manuals, right? If you don't know how to operate, probably you would have seen, right? Or you have heard, big machinery, machines will have the operating manual, because it's a very
Yes.
complex, like airplane. In order to pilot, for him to operate that particular airplane, he or she should know the entire the mechanics and the functional aspects within the cockpit,
Mhm.
right? There should be a manual. You probably would have seen in many places you will come across the manual.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, so
Hmm.
which is a very integral part of the whole process. However, it is not a functional requirement, but it is an additional a supplement which has been provided to operate that particular device or anything for that matter. But it's a very key aspect. Okay.
Okay.
Now, since we actually discuss about the functional, what do you think about the non-functional requirement for oven or microwave? Sorry, can someone go on mute, please? Can anyone tell me what could be the non-functional requirement? What do you mean by non-functional requirement?
Not working things, huh?
No.
We don't need any kind of fire, sir.
Okay. No, I am.
It
Okay.
won't become.
The product is
heat.
actually working.
What is okay? No, not that. Okay. From our previous class, okay, we learned the definition about non-functional requirements. We did learn about functional requirements and non-functional requirements. What do you think is forget about oven now, okay? What is not let's discuss what is non-functional requirements.
So the usage of electricity comes in non-functional or functional?
Very good. It's a non-functional.
Yes. The usage of electricity, the cost of
We
the
don't
oven.
know. Yes, correct. So we don't know the oven can be operated either through electricity or some other way, but we don't know. But what it needs is electricity. Either you supply from your your backup, or you supply from the mains, doesn't matter. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what else is the non-functional requirement, please?
Performance, sir.
Well done. Okay, yeah, what do you mean by performance? It's a good one. What do you mean by performance?
The temperature should be evenly distributed.
Okay, Well done. Yes, correct.
As the microwave oven heats the food, it should not get heated itself.
Okay. Anything else?
Sir, operate properly.
It should turn off itself after the food is heated.
Turn off. Okay, that is the functional.
Oh,
The indicator.
the
The indicator is also functional.
Sir, if the water is not there as per the quantity, it may burn, sir.
Uh-huh. Okay, how that will become a non-functional? Performance is a good one. Okay. So you're talking
Doesn't
about,
matter which company it belongs.
Sir,
okay.
it's
What the
required
work to be done.
utensils, the safe utensils. If the safe utensils are not there,
Uh-huh.
that also will be the disadvantages of using the microwave.
Okay.
It
Okay.
should not get heat if you use one more time. Loading.
So
Overloading.
ultimately, okay, overloading. Yes, that's a non-functional. Correct. You're right. Overloading. What should actually happen if you do overload? You know, it should automatically either turn off. It'll become both functional and non-functional. You know, you can argue on that side. See, typical things, okay, probably last time we did discuss, okay, the non-functional requirements were performance, scalability or portability, compatibility, reliability, availability, or maintenance or security, or, you know, and everything, etc. Okay, what do you mean by performance? We talked about, like, you know, performance. It should, okay, you know, let's go back to our you know, original example, what we were discussing, mobile phone, right? Perform, you know, it should not hang. You know, you should be able to access, you should go to the different screens, you should be able to dial the numbers very instantaneously. There should not be any sort of a delays, right? Now, we coming back to scalability, right? Okay, so if you you know, if you have a memory of 1 GB, you know, and you should be able to add on more memory, like, you know, make it as 2 GB, or, like, you know, performance automatically scale up. Just a very basic example that, you know, about that one. And portability, for an example, okay, you have, I don't know, Samsung model and everything. Okay, let me tell you. Okay, you are using iPhone, for an argument's sake, iPhone 10 or 11. Okay, now you want to, you know, transfer the data to your Samsung phone. Do you think the data which is there in the iPhone is compatible to Samsung, or vice versa?
No, sir.
Could be, okay, but you can, you know, bring in your data, but it should be portable and compatible, isn't it? Where you can transfer the data, and the data what you have on your iPhone must be compatible on the Samsung phone as well, right? So now, you know, another example, you know, it's for the availability, basically. Assume you have a smartphone. you have a mobile data, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
The expectation here is the data or a signal should always be there.
Yes.
Yes or no? If you
Yes.
you're trying to browse something, if mobile data is not working, your 3G, 4G, 5G, whatever you call it as, if it is not working properly, what would happen? Disappointment, right? Or frustration, or it is not working. Loss of
Yeah.
time, right? So availability, it should be readily available. No disconnection from from its intended usage. Maintainability, how easy for you to maintain. Either it can be mobile or it can be oven. If there are any issues, you will take it to the repairer, right?
Yes.
So how easy to maintain, how easy to repair?
Mobile phone is tough to prepare.
No, I'm just giving an example, right? Yeah, you take to the repair shop, like they will fix it.
Yes.
But if it is very complex, you need to go to the specialized people, and the cost of maintenance is going to increase. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So what actually happened here? Then a cost increased to maintain. You will check whether it is right mobile phone or right device for us to use, because the maintenance cost is so high. If something goes wrong, then should I replace it or should I repair it? What is the cost of repair? What is the cost of maintenance? So you'll think all of them. Do I get the spare parts? Do I get the cheap spare parts? Do I get, is it very costly spare parts?
Right, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So these are the key things actually we will be evaluating non-functional aspects of anything for that matter. Okay. But I must say it's a very good effort from everyone who have actually completed and who have participated in discussion in today's session. It is really a good effort, I must say. Okay. Please keep in mind, okay, these are the things, okay, in a day in day out, what we come across. As I mentioned earlier, take anything in your life, daily routine. You will come across all this kind of a scenario, situations anywhere and everywhere.
Yes,
It's just that you need to map to that particular instance. Okay.
Oh.
Good job, everyone. Okay. So the next, what I want to touch base upon, okay, is a framework. So can anybody tell me how the mobile phone is manufactured? I don't need any specific thing, or I'm not expecting specific answers. A generic one. Or okay, forget about the mobile phone. Let's stay. Everyone, we use plate to have your food. Yes or no?
Yes,
Day
sir.
in, day out. So how the plate will be made?
So plastic, steel, glass, which plate? Ceramic.
Anything. You take any example and you tell me how it has been made.
First, the metal is melted and
Very good.
Put in
Metal
a
is
mold
melted.
and
Very
then
good.
put in a mold.
mold.
Yeah.
The size and shape of the plate is
Very good. Mold, shape. Yes. Good.
Then later on, if the design is
Design.
printed,
Design, printed, well done, good.
Color.
then
Color,
packaging. If it is steel, then it is less packaging.
okay, yeah, packaging, well done. Yes, exactly, very good. Excellent answers.
Project,
After
sir.
packaging, it is distribution.
Distribution, very good. Excellent. So what it has a structure, isn't it? The metal was melted and poured into the mold, and design, and then color, whatever, right? And then packaging and the distribution. Once after the mold, when we take it up, okay, somebody has to check whether it is right or not. Mold is right or not. Does it have any defects or any
You have to check the
irregular shapes?
durability.
Exactly,
You have to check the
durability.
durability.
Very good. Okay, durability and all those things, right? If you see this, there is a stepwise process. Correct.
Correct.
First, melting the metal, mold, okay, design, printing, whatever you call it as, and then quality check, okay, durability and everything.
Sir.
Sorry.
Assembling the parts.
Yeah, good. Yeah. So now, and it comes to the distribution, packaging and distribution. So there is a process you follow. Doesn't matter whether you're manufacturing ceramic, whether you're manufacturing the metal or anything. There is a stepwise process you follow. We call that as a framework, a structure. You define the structure to manufacture something. It can be anything, right?
Yes.
Back home, when you prepare food, you follow process, you follow steps. We call it as framework. In our software jargons, we call it as frameworks. Its framework is nothing but a structure. Structure is nothing but the stepwise instructions to build something, to make something. Okay. Now, to manufacture anything, we follow the framework, we follow the structure, we follow the steps. Those steps will be in order. Correct? You can't have your design in the first, in the first step, and then melting the metal in the third step. Can you do it? No, right? So it has to have its steps defined in an order. Okay. So we call that as a framework with our in our software development side. Okay. So coming back to now, I'm slowly introducing you guys to our software development side. Okay. The steps what we discussed for manufacturing the plates, we call it as let's call it as a plate manufacturing life cycle. Correct? Metal plate manufacturing life cycle. So that means that life cycle has the complete instructions or complete steps to manufacture the plate from the scratch. Likewise, coming back to our software, in order to build any software, we have a methodologies or a framework defined to build a software. We call it as software development life cycle. What we call it as software development life cycle. So we define process to build a software. Coming back to our metal plate manufacturing, we did first planned or melted the metal, right? And then we poured that into the mold. So we did design, we planned, rather not designed, we planned earlier how this has to be done. And then we did design, like, we built the mold. And then we poured the metal, melted metal into the mold. And then we printed it or colored it. And then we quality checked it, and then we packaged, and then we distributed. The similar way we do have in our software development life cycle. Okay, it has its own specific steps. It has a different frameworks defined. Just now somebody said, okay, asked whether it is a metal plate, ceramic plate, or what plate it is. See, we have a lot of different plates altogether, plastic plates, paper plates. To manufacture paper plates, it has a different process. To manufacture your plastic plates, it has a different process. If for your manufacturing your metal plates, it has a different process. Correct? So likewise, in order to build a software, we do have different processes or different frameworks. Okay, but the software development life cycle would remain same, but it has a different frameworks to build a software. One of the framework in a software development life cycle is waterfall method. I repeat, it's a waterfall method. What I want you guys to do is, I really want you guys to go back and explore about the waterfall method, and then send your assignment as you do every week, and then we will actually can discuss in detail in our next class about the waterfall method. Okay, let's see. You explore. Okay, doesn't matter, as as we were doing, whether it is right or wrong, don't worry about it. Okay, we shall discuss, and we will learn through. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So I believe now you guys are well aware about the functional requirements and non-functional requirements. Correct? So far, I presume you guys have understood. Okay, if you have any doubts, feel free to message us. We're happy to help you. Okay, we did touch upon the SDLC, especially on the waterfall methodology. It's just an introduction what we've given, and I really want you to explore and come back. Okay, for the next class, let's discuss in detail. Great. Having said that, thank you very much for your time and for your eager to learn. And yeah, have a lovely evening, and catch up sometime this week or early next week.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot. Have a good evening. Take care.